Welding is an essential component of many industries, such as the automotive industry, the construction industry, and more. In this video, we're going to teach you the safety precautions to enforce today to ensure welding safety. But first, let's talk about what is welding. Welding is a joining process of metals or sometimes plastics by heating, melting, and mixing to produce joints with properties similar to those of the materials being joined. There are three main components needed to create a weld. First is the heat source, such as electric arc, flame, pressure, or friction. Second is shielding, like the use of gas and other substances to protect the weld from the air. Third is filler material, which are materials used to join the two pieces together. Now, why is welding safety important? Welding safety measures are designed to protect welding operators and other workers from welding hazards and mitigate health risks in the workplace. Safety precautions, safety awareness before welding activities, and welding equipment inspections are action steps welders can take to prevent welding-related incidents or physical injuries due to explosions, electrocutions, and asphyxiation. Now, let's talk about the hazards associated with welding. Welding operators may face an array of hazards that can be potentially dangerous, but with proper guidelines, these hazards can be avoided. First hazard is electric shock. Electric shock occurs when welders touch two metal objects that have voltage in between, which then creates an electrical circuit. The sudden discharge of electricity to the human body can cause serious injury and even death. Next are fumes and gases. Welding arc creates extreme temperature and may pose significant fire and explosion hazards. Flammable materials around the working area are the #1 cause of the fire. Injuries from insufficient PPE are also a hazard. Physical hazards that can cause burns, eye damage, cuts, and crushed toes and fingers are ever present when welding. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, helps to keep welding operators free from injuries. Last is eye damage while performing welding activity. Looking directly in the UV rays that come from welding without appropriate PPE or welding curtains can result in a painful and long-lasting condition called arc eye. Many factors can affect the severity of a flash burn injury, such as distance, duration, and the angle of penetration. Long-term exposure to arc flashes could also potentially result in cataracts and lead to a loss of vision. Other forms of eye damage include foreign bodies entering the eye, including grit, sparks, and dust, and second, particular fumes and gases, which could lead to conjunctivitis. Here are the welding safety precautions and tips. Always operate in an open, well-ventilated area, or vent the engine exhaust directly outdoors. Wear appropriate PPE, which can be fire and electricity resistant clothing, hand shields, welding gloves, aprons, and boots. Know the safety guidelines by both national organizations and your company, which helps to ensure a safe, productive workspace for all. Review manufacturer's instructions before operating the equipment. Always inspect the electrode holder for damage before starting the weld. Ensure gloves are dry and in good condition. Never touch the metal parts of the electrode holder with skin or wet clothing. And keep dry insulation between the body and the ground or metal being welded. Always check if the equipment is functioning properly and is fully grounded before using it. Regularly check equipment for common wear and tear, such as frayed wires or leaking hoses, as this can increase the chances of an accident occurring. Sparks from the welding arc can fly up to 35 feet in distance, so it's important to keep the workspace clear, especially of any flammable materials. Knowing where the tools and equipment are located increases your efficiency. It's important to know the location of fire alarms, emergency exits, fire extinguishers, sand buckets, or other equipment you would need to put flames out in the event of a fire. Keep a suitable Class ABC fire extinguisher nearby while welding. Make sure the extinguisher gauge is full. Lastly, report concerns to a supervisor when exposed to substances of the welding fumes or when mechanical issues are observed on the engine. Welding is a hazardous workplace activity that exposes many workers to health and safety benefits, but it can still be safe and minimize the risks if safety precautions are strictly followed.